This is FanStream Sports.
Can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who would know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Yes! Here we go!
I guess I want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about my pants.
Oh, yeah. Welcome into the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show. That show you've stumbled upon, probably on purpose by now. We've been doing it like this Mondays and Wednesdays for a good bit. So if you're here on purpose, we'd like to congratulate you on actually being here with us on time. We're usually not. That guy that usually makes us not on time is in there bobbing and weaving and pushing buttons and doing things. It's one IndyCar Tim. What's up, Tim?
Colby, I've been accused of being many things. Prompt is not one of them.
Prompt is definitely not one of them. We have got a whale of a by the way, I haven't seen the Twitter update to where I could share it. So just letting you know, I haven't seen it pop.
For the show?
Yeah.
Or go to my Twitter.
Go to your Twitter?
Apparently Twitter made some changes today where you can only stream live if you are a premium subscriber on Twitter. Because I got that message right as we went live here on the StreamYard. So I exited out of the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show Twitter. But I have that subscription on mine. So if you go find mine, you can share it there.
There we go.
So that would be why.
All right.
Idiots.
Reposting it now. Look, we've got a hell of a show coming up. And a lot of things to get to, including, I'll go ahead and admit it before he's in earshot, probably my favorite talent at the Fan.
Thank you, Colby. I appreciate that. You don't often give me compliments.
I'm talking about the general Gavin Dawson.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Now, of course, my buds, love them. KNC Masterpiece, Kevin and Corey. They are, as far as friends, that's where they're at. And they're really awesome dudes. And I love hearing them on the air. But just from afar, the guy that kept his persona like you know it would be when you showed up at his house later or something, or you were at an event. It was, Kevin and Corey are like that. Mm-hmm. But Gavin's able to keep that almost I'm cool thing going and it not be fake.
Right.
And you realize it's him. And I've always respected the hell out of that. And one of those things that if I wasn't already me and I thought I'd like to don somebody's way they attack their own, radio persona, it would have been that. But I was already me and I couldn't fucking change. So. But
savage.
But there you are. So he's coming on to teach a little bit of Tim, little Tim. He's going to teach him some soccer.
He's teaching you some soccer too.
He will be, because he knows definitely a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I had a bad experience last night, Colby. I needed somebody to come on, and apparently I did me some drunk texting last night.
Apparently he did some drunk texting, as he had the whole show scheduled with people to come on it, and it's from him just getting fed shots by an old couple at a bar that knew a lot more about soccer than he did and was willing to put up with his stupid antics and feed him shots.
By the way, they're probably listening because I'm pretty sure I sent them a link to the show.
So I appreciate them, by the way. And thank you for putting up with Knucklehead over here. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing thing. So, Definitely. But because of your gift of alcohol, we have guests on, and that's just amazing.
We always talk about having more guests, right?
We do.
Which is fun because it's less work for us. We don't have to talk as much. We don't have to prep as much. We always say we're going to do guests more. And we have people that want to come on the show all the time. Local athletes here, other radio guys here,
right?
News people. And it's a matter of me having to make a call and say, hey, do you want to come on Monday or Wednesday, or what's your schedule? And them going, okay.
Right.
But apparently I'm better at that when I'm drunk.
Because you just come right out and say, see, yeah. I know all these folks, and they've always said, just hey, anytime we'll jump on. And my brain never goes because I'm that guy that if I have to move, I never ask anybody to help me move,
Right?
Because I don't want them to ask me.
Yep.
To help them move.
You don't want them to ask you to come on their show?
Well, see, if they do that, I feel like they're doing me a favor.
Right.
Right. And then yet, if I ask them to come on my show, I feel like they're doing me a favor again.
Right.
And I'm like, wait, when's the favor switch to where I'm doing them a favor? And I've never been able to see. I will do you a favor, but I will never ask you to do me a favor. Why? Just in case I feel like not doing you a favor.
Yeah. In case I want to say no.
In a preemptive strike type of situation. But yes, we have Gavin coming on. We will have Norm and Evan Grant talking a little Rangers, as that's a thing that's got going on, and maybe the possibility of some trades. I've got a mystery shotgun that if you're a Stephen King fan, you may want to pay attention to. Now, I should have probably told Corey I was doing this because he's also a big Dark Tower fan.
Okay.
As we delve into...
Is Darth Tower, is that Darth Vader's cousin?
No, it's Dark Tower.
Oh, so it's Dark Helmet's cousin.
No, it has nothing to do with Spaceballs.
Oh,
it has more to do with Pennywise than it does Spaceballs.
Wait, really?
Yes, actually.
Dark Tower and Pennywise are related?
Are
they in the same universe or something?
Kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things connected to the tower. There's parts of Pet Cemetery that are mentioned in the tower.
I loved Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
The original one.
Oh, and side note to that real quick, you know how that book came about, right? You know the story behind it? So Stephen King was writing Pet Cemetery. But as he was writing it, he realized that of all the, fucked up things he's written before, that was the worst. Like, he didn't want it to be published.
Right.
He just
you've
thought
told me this before.
He just thought it was nuts. And it was too out there for him,
right,
to put out. And the publisher he was with, he was leaving them to go to another publisher. And that publisher said, you owe us another book before you can leave.
Right.
Like contractually, you have to give us another book. And he's like, sure. And he went to his desk, opened the drawer. There was Pet Cemetery and just said, take that one.
That was it.
And if it wasn't for that, Pet Cemetery would never have existed in publication.
That's probably my favorite Stephen King book and movie that spawned a movie. The original in 89 or whatever, not the most recent one that they remade.
And might be your favorite, which is weird because of how almost mentally graphic it is. It puts you in those spaces that you really don't want to be at.
Puts you in a dark spot.
And how you don't like gratuitous shit like that.
Yeah, I don't.
So that is a little weird, but yes. So we do have some Stephen King update in the mystery shotgun. Again, Gavin Dawson talking a little soccer, and then I have news and notes. So that is your show that we've got going on. Before we get into that, Tim, I told you, I have a rule that got broken over the weekend.
I broke some rules last night.
Yeah. You know what? That enabled us to have guests on and also may have ended a couple of relationships of yours, but we won't get into all of that because at least they were drinking age. But I did break one rule, and that is, and this is going to sound stupid. You've ever heard the rule that you don't play poker with a guy named after a city?
Yes.
Okay, that's a rule.
Yeah.
I have a naming rule. I don't order food from places with numbers in them. I don't. Like if you're, I don't know, Steak One, or if your place has a number in it, I don't order food. If you're Chinese 2 or whatever.
Sushi 8.
Yeah. I'm out.
What about Hard 8 barbecue?
I'm out.
That's probably a good idea. They're terrible.
I
mean, unless you want to sponsor us, then you're great.
But I'm out. If you've got a number in your food, because I think you gave up on your name.
Yeah.
I think that's a real give up.
Well, what if they have different locations and they call it Restaurant 1, Restaurant 2, Restaurant 3?
That's even worse.
It is kind of worse. Be creative at least.
Do something. But so I was craving pho. And I really wanted some.
Sir, careful what you say.
And so Sybil said, well, we'll just order some. I'm like, all right, cool. And I thought she was going to order from the place that we normally order from. And so I'm on the game with my buds, and she puts the phone down in front of me, and I don't recognize this place. But I'm like, whatever. I gotta hurry up because they need me to go, whatever, do this thing on this game. So I was like, all right, cool. They have oxtail pho. I'm like, oh, sweet. All right. Well, they're probably gonna F this up, but whatever. Let's give it a shot. So I ordered it. And then when it showed up, it said pho 1. That was the name, pho 1. I was like, oh no. You ordered from a number place? That's not good.
Or was it?
Dude, it was amazing.
Uh-huh.
It was oxtail, I was afraid was just from that place was just going to be stuck to the bone and just so tough. It just wouldn't, it was like a chicken wing. It just came right off. It was amazing.
I love good oxtail.
The actual broth, which if you go to basic pho place, they like throw the whole root of ginger in there, and you can't taste anything else but ginger. It's like Marianne has left the building. You know, it's real, almost cologne-y like tasting to it, and just the right amount, brother. Man, I actually saved the broth and cooked my rice in it for dinner.
Yeah, that
today.
sounds amazing.
It was on point. So I have to take something back. Pho 1. Now, the other stuff that you have, I don't know about it. But your oxtail pho, that was amazing. And I will order it again. In fact, I'm already planning on ordering it again for like tomorrow night.
We used to have a really good pho place over by where I live, and it went out a bit. Like, it's the only place I've ever had it really before.
Right.
Because I don't know how to order things at places like that because I don't understand the food. So I went in one time when I was still married, and she's like, okay, here's probably what you would enjoy the most. And she got me whatever it was. It had beef in it, and it was just really, really good. And then I ate there twice, and I was like, man, I want to try some other pho places or whatever. And then that place shut down. And now I'm afraid to go anywhere else because I might not like it or I might not order it right because I'm usually alone when I eat, Colby. It's a sad life that I live, but I'm usually alone when I eat, and I don't know how to order things by myself.
All right. Okay. The basic rule is when you're ordering it, all you got to know is A, what kind of noodles you like.
Okay.
And then B, what kind of protein you like.
Okay. Well, wait, but like Asian noodles aren't the same as like spaghetti noodles.
No. So do you want the regular noodles? Do you want the rice noodles? Do you want the clear noodles?
I definitely don't want clear noodles. That sounds disgusting to me.
It's not disgusting.
I don't want to see through my food.
Well, I mean, it looks like they actually look like what the Predator looks like.
Right?
You can see that there's noodles there
when he cloaks.
But you can also see through the noodles.
That's what they should call them, cloak noodles.
Cloak noodles. Would that make you want to eat them more?
Yes, I would eat them.
Noodles?
If they were called cloak or alien predator noodles, I would eat those.
So there you go. There's noodle talk completely out of nowhere.
Fuck you, Colby.
Actually, you know what? The egg noodle would probably be your favorite.
Okay.
That would probably, because it's my favorite consistency is the egg noodle. And it'll be more classic looking noodle for you.
I'm going to undertake that task and eat pho sometime this week.
Do it.
And I'll report back.
Do it. And as that is, now it is time for me to what day it is to Tim.
Thank you, Colby. We've got a jam-packed, day is it?
Jam-packed jelly tight?
Jam-packed Tim Tight.
No, that saying's not as good.
Tim Titans.
The Teen Titans?
I love Teen Titans. I like that cartoon. Wait, which one's the one? I bet I don't like. I guess there's been several, right? I think the one that I like is Teen Titans Go.
Right.
The cartoony one.
Yeah, it's the less serious of the.
Yeah, where Robin's a complete moron.
Yes, and he smells of fish
and Starfire's hot.
Well, Starfire's hot in just about everything.
It's true. She is hot. We need to get her on the show.
I don't know if you can.
I think we should try to get Starfire on the show, Colby. Colby, today, by the way, happy Monday, everybody. Get your week started off right.
Mm-hmm.
It is also, if you're in the North Texas area as we are, it is Home Run Derby night out at the Globe.
It is.
Got that on our TVs here.
Oh, we should probably have talked about that in the intro.
Is it on right now?
It is on right now.
I didn't know what time it started, but I just have our show on right now. So as I try to produce and direct and board op and everything. Colby, it is National Give Something Away Day.
No.
Now it doesn't specify. Like technically it could be a venereal disease that you gave away.
Okay. Or maybe you gave away some of your gas.
I might have tried. Oh, I gave you some of that earlier.
Dude,
when you came in here.
You see that video? There's a video out there of people looking at people with thermal vision when they farted.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes. It's greatness. The cloud.
Yes. What is that? It's like a montage of thermal farts.
It's great. I hope they do. Colby, it is also National Celebration of the Horse Day.
Huh.
Now, what I would do, and I love horses, they're majestic creatures. I don't have any problem with that at all.
Right.
They deserve a day. I would prefer that we celebrate the Whores Day.
That's usually around October when
National Celebration of the Whores Day.
Yeah.
I would like to add that to our list of days.
Conveniently located around the Halloween party.
Uh-huh. How do you submit your request for a day to get like institutionalized or make it official? Like, is there a government agency?
You know what? There might be, but I think if everybody just says it enough, it just ends up on the calendar.
I think so.
So
Weird. I don't understand how that works. Colby, it is Global Hug Your Kids Day. It's the only day you can do it.
Okay. You know what? That's every time I see them.
Yep.
So.
Same here. Even if they don't like it or want it, they're getting one.
Right.
How about National Developmental Disability Professionals Day?
All right, good.
Celebrate people in wheelchairs. I guess that's how I would shorten it.
Well, I mean, that's not the only developmental disability.
What are some other developmental disabilities?
I'm not going through the list for you, Tim.
Is that our word that we're not allowed to say? Is that a developmental disability?
Anything that affects your development is a developmental disability.
Ooh. Are small tits a developmental disability?
You know what? Some maybe.
Yes. Got it right. But you know what? Celebrate all people.
That's really just should be every day.
Kinda, right?
Except for the assholes.
Yeah, they should shut up, Bassick. Colby, how about Marine Day in Japan? So if you're in Japan, celebrate U.S. Marines, but not anywhere else.
Okay.
Which is confusing for me.
I don't think they would want to celebrate anything.
U.S. military?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, watch this. What, you didn't see it the first time? We'll do it again.
You know, the few times that I feel like we've just went too far.
Oh, we've got a lot farther than that.
That was close.
That was nothing. We told them to shut up, and they didn't. We gave them warnings, Colby. We said, look, you Japanese.
First of all, mark that, and I don't know when you'll use it.
Look, you Japanese. It's probably on this day next year.
Right.
We done told y'all to stop it. Came over here and bombed our pretty island. Killed a bunch of dudes. They were good dudes. So guess what we're going to do?
You'll hear those.
That's my World War II rant.
You'll hear all those words again when it's Pearl Harbor Day. That'll probably be the intro.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And then we're going to follow that up, Colby, with something I celebrate every day.
Okay.
As it's National Be a Dork Day.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Dorks are cool.
I mean, they're not. They're like the epitome of not cool.
Is that like the opposite of cool?
Yeah.
Is a dork or a nerd?
Yeah. Which I'm there. I'm a nerd. I know way too many things about things that you shouldn't know about in order to be cool. It's the reason why I have a segment where I just delve into all the things that I think are cool. They're not.
Colby, we have breaking news.
What's that?
As I'm being texted, there is indeed an International Whores Day.
There is.
So I attempt to read this off my screen. It's observed annually on June 2nd. So we must not have had a show on June 2nd this year.
Damn it.
It honors sex workers and recognizes their often exploited working conditions.
A day to honor sex workers. That's amazing.
The event commemorates the occupation of some French place by more than 100 sex workers on June 2nd, 1975 to draw attention to their inhumane working conditions. You know what? Then go get another job. It's been celebrated annually since 1976. In Germany, it's known as, never mind, I'm not reading that, but it means Whores Day in English.
Okay.
It's called Dirk. See what he thinks about that. In Spanish-speaking countries, it's that Spanish word that's on my screen, and it means the International Day of the Sex Worker. That should be every day.
It's all right, then.
Huh. Thank you for sending that to us, listener. Show me your boobs. Not you. Wasn't for you.
Okay.
Colby, how about National Clean Beauty Day?
So not only do you gotta be pretty, you gotta be washed up good?
I mean, I like you to be clean and pretty.
Right.
There's times when that hasn't mattered. Neither one of those has mattered to me, clearly. But yeah, I think clean and beautiful are two important things in our society. Something I don't have to worry about because I'm not married anymore, Colby. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day.
Just don't go in there in the first place.
Well, that's impossible.
It's not.
Really?
It's really not.
I lived in the doghouse.
Just don't go in there in the first place.
How do you not go in there? Because you don't ever know what she's thinking or expects because women.
Right.
They'll tell you things.
Yeah, so you just make sure that what you say you're going to handle, you handle. And then when things are going, you feel like they're a little upset, go figure out what it is, let them talk about it, and then you go back to doing what you were doing.
It's a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
I know a lot about marriage, Colby. I've been married 3 times. I've perfected it.
Sounds like it.
We're gonna do marriage counseling with Tim at some point on the show. National Gummy Worm Day. How do you feel about the gummy worm?
You know what? Just about anything fruity, gummy, don't put them near me because I'll end up just grabbing a few and then I'll grab a few more. Next thing I know, the bag's gone. That's one of those. It's one of those candies that, like, other things can stay at the house, no problem whatsoever.
I'm just not a fan.
But it's anything gummy or a chocolate chip cookie. There's a chocolate chip cookie or anything gummy, and of course, any good pie. Everything else, cake, whatever, can be there and I'll be fine.
I'm not a fan of the gummies, anything, unless they're soaked in vodka the night before. And then I'll go to town on some gummies.
Right.
But dude, chocolate chip cookies. So for instance, my son Zach and his girlfriend live at my house.
Right.
As most people that listen to the show are aware. And dude, I woke up the other day. They work at Starbucks at one of the malls here in town, right? Together. So they sometimes they'll work late and I'm asleep before they come home. Well, I woke up one morning, walk out in my kitchen. There is a chocolate chip cookie on the counter, like in a plastic baggie, that I kid you not is at least 10 inches around or across and maybe 2 inches thick.
Oh, no.
And I'm looking around. I'm like, the hell is this? I go and knock on Zach's door. No answer. They're not home. So they'd already been home and left. So I take a picture of it and I send it to him. I said, is this a gift for Dad? He's like, oh no, we were supposed to bring that with us. We totally forgot. Just leave it there.
What?
I had to look at this cookie all effing day.
No.
And it's taunting me and teasing me.
So you ate it.
I took a huge bite out of it. and then I just left it there. When I say a huge bite, dude, I can open my mouth pretty wide. Mark. It's a weird brag. Look out, guys. Here come. Gross. But, dude, I took a huge, massive bite out, teeth marks and everything. And I put it back in the bag, and I left it there.
You know, you talked about that, by the way. Good for you. Never forget the cookie.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
You got to take it with you or else it's gone. But when my inner fat guy came out, and I immediately knew what I was going to do with that cookie. I immediately knew. It's going to take that big-ass cookie that you described, and I was going to get out the Cool Whip and the chocolate chip cookie dough.
Dude, see, I would have broken it up and put it on ice cream.
No. You cut that bitch in half, and then one side Cool Whip, the other side the cookie dough raw.
Right. Make a sandwich,
and then go to town.
I just don't have ice cream that often in my house. But when I do, it's vanilla. Or pecans, pralines, and cream from Baskin-Robbins.
And when I have ice cream, it's probably Rebel ice cream. Let's just go with that.
What is that?
It's a good ice cream that's also better for you, lower calories.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
Okay, not a flavor. I thought you were talking about a flavor.
No, yeah. They're double chocolate, or they're peanut butter cup, or they're chocolate mint.
Huh. Is it lactose free?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I might need to try that. Colby, it's National Pet Fire Safety Day.
Man, I'm glad you said Safety Day.
It's not National Set Your Pet on Fire Day.
No, because that's
the opposite
bad.
of that. Poor puppy's at home by himself because he lies at his friend's house tonight. I turned on the show on my TV so he could hear the show tonight.
There you go.
My puppy dog. Yeah, so he's not at home freaking out. He's probably looking at me on TV right now.
My dog Princess prefers SpongeBob on the TV.
It's over you.
Yeah.
Colby, it is National Tapioca Pudding Day.
Not bad. Not my first choice.
I don't think I've ever had tapioca. What is a tapioca?
Man, I couldn't tell you. I just know what the pudding tastes like. I've had it. It's got like random pieces of rice or something in it.
Yeah, it's got like chunks in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Or something. I'm not out. It doesn't taste bad.
Huh.
So.
All right. I'll probably never try it unless it's at the pho place that I go to.
Okay. If you finish off your pho with tapioca pudding,
I'm a winner.
Yeah, don't go back to that particular place.
If I put tapioca pudding in my pho.
You know what? Now you're doing it wrong.
And I'm eating it with a fork, by the way. Ain't no chopsticks in these fingers. Colby, it is Orange Chicken Day. Speaking of chopsticks.
Done right, really good.
I love orange chicken. I love Panda Express's orange chicken. They invented it. They should know how to do it.
They didn't invent it.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
It says it on their wall in their restaurant that they invented orange chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then fine. I don't like the original makers of it then.
Like back in the 70s.
They're suck.
I love it. I think it's great.
If it's the actual, it's got the chicken and then it has the orange slices mixed in with it.
Right.
And the sauce is, a little bit lighter. But
yeah, because you don't like the sweet. See, I love the sweet, syrupy orange sauce.
No.
I could go for some sweet, syrupy orange sauce right now. Mark. Colby, it is the Democracy and National Unity Day of Turkey.
Good.
Does that mean like it's their Independence Day or something?
So everybody go eat a turkey neck in celebration.
Gross. Turkey's gross.
No.
Unless it's deep fried.
Turkey neck is amazing.
So like oxtail?
It's the oxtail of the turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They serve it on the bone.
Yep.
Are there little vertebrae inside of it?
Oh, yeah, and you get to clean those out.
Ugh. Nope, I'm out.
With your tongue.
Mark. A lot of markings here to do tonight. We need an intern. We need a topless intern. Colby, it is World Youth Skills Day.
Is that a thing?
Youth have no skills. I'm telling you right now.
I've seen them have skills before, but
I haven't. They're all idiots. And then finally, Colby, a day specifically for you.
All right.
I feel like this is directed at you. It is National Respect Canada Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fuck Canada.
The greatest country on earth.
Except for a few people that are from Canada.
Good day, mate.
And not talking about Tim, because he's not really from Canada.
No, I just claim that as my home base.
We're all drunk.
That's what day it is, Colby.
That is amazing, Tim. But more amazing is what we've got prepared for you guys coming up right now, as it's time for the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Sports Report with a special entry into the Sports Report. Instead of hearing me and Tim battle back and forth about some sports topics, we actually got a little bit of an early preview for you guys that are fans of Norm Hitzges and Evan Grant as they got together to talk a little Texas Rangers. And Tim got because they're on our channel, Tim got the audio first, and we're able to present it to you now earlier than anybody else is getting it. So we would like to congratulate you for listening to the show, and would like for me to say, hey, Evan, hey, Norm, take it away, guys.
Some hardball. In 1997, Evan Grant moved to the Dallas Morning News to cover baseball there. In the years since, twice he has been named by the Associated Press as one of the top 10 beat reporters in the country. Evan loves his wife Gina, his two dogs, his two stepkids, though I'm not sure in that exact order. He's a
oh yeah, we'll leave the order out for right now. But Gina's at the top. Everybody else is 1A.
He's a proud graduate of Georgia State. He's a proud Panther, and he has been the go-to for Ranger information and Ranger insight in nearly 28 years now. First, I know it's All-Star Week in Texas. Thank you for your time.
No problem, no problem. For you, Norm, it's never an issue. Glad to be here.
It is the All-Star break. The Rangers find themselves 5 games behind Seattle in the West, but also 4 games behind Houston in the West. They are actually closer to the West lead than they are to the last wild card spot. They're 7.5 games out of the last wild card spot, but this makes it even more dire. There are 4 teams higher than them in the standings in the wild card race that aren't currently in control of the wild card race. And by the way, that includes Detroit. What? Okay, the last couple of weeks we talked about, will the Rangers be buyers at the trade deadline or sellers at the trade deadline? Have you gotten any sense that the last 2 weeks has made that direction determined?
No, I think that 2 weeks ago they were probably teetering towards selling. They were 9 games out. They were 9 games below 500. While Chris Young and Bruce Bochy maintained that this team was going to get better and it was eventually going to get some guys back, they were digging themselves such a big hole that all the historical numbers suggested that this was not a team that was going to be able to dig out of it. Now, there are some other factors. Seattle's not played well. Seattle has, I think, really lost an opportunity here with the quality of pitching that it's had to put more distance between themselves, the Rangers, and Houston. They have not done that. Houston is playing better baseball. The Rangers just went down to Houston and won 2 out of 3 after Houston had won 10 straight at home. There are some indications that the Rangers are 9-4 going into the break over their last 13 games. They've played better baseball. They are hoping for Josh Young back. They have gotten Max Scherzer back. They should have another body or 2 back in the not-too-distant future, and Jacob deGrom on the horizon. There are reasons to think when you are 5 games out, regardless of whether you're 5 games below 500 or 10 games above 500, when you're 5 games out in the American League West, there's reason to think that, hey, there is a legitimate chance to make the playoffs.
Seattle's problem is similar to the Rangers' problem. The Rangers, by the way, got surprisingly good pitching, but surprisingly poor hitting. Seattle's in the same boat. Good pitching, poor hitting.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, Seattle's pitching, though, has been really a level above everybody else's in the American League. As well as the Rangers have pitched, Seattle has pitched better. And the fact that the Mariners have not been able to do more with that to create a bigger lead in the division, I think puts them in a real trouble spot going into the second half. Seattle always has the hardest travel schedule in the American League because of where it's located. I think that often catches up. And I do think also the relative durability of the Seattle pitching staff, the odds are that at some point in time you're going to run into an injury issue. Seattle really hasn't run into that yet. If they lose a starter for a long period of time, what does that do? Now, on the other hand, just like the Rangers have said, well, we don't think that Adolis Garcia can be this bad this long, and we don't think that Leody Taveras can be this inconsistent this long. Certainly the Mariners have said that Julio Rodriguez can't be as bad as he was for most of the first half. He's gotten hotter, and so they may find some offensive abilities. But both teams have really had the same issue. I just feel more optimistic that the Rangers' offense will be able to pick it up than I do about Seattle's.
Let's talk about the Rangers as a buyer first. If they were going to add something, what would that be?
I think if they were going to add anything right now, you're probably not looking to you're not going to bust everything open. One piece isn't necessarily going to solve your issues because you really should have all those pieces on hand or coming back from the IL. I think every team could always use another relief arm. And as good as David Robertson and Kirby Yates have been at the back end of the bullpen, I think that the Rangers could still use a consistent power arm maybe before them so that you speed guys' bats up before you get to Robertson and Yates.
What do the Rangers have to offer? I don't want to be negative about the pitching prospects, but all of them at AA and AAA seems to have stalled pretty badly.
Well, the high-profile guys have. It's a good question because they gave up, two really good prospects last year in the Montgomery Stratton deal and another really good prospect in the Scherzer deal. And with Wyatt Langford and Evan Carter and Cody Bradford all either in the big leagues or on the big league IL, they've kind of skimmed off a level of the minor league talent. I do think that we saw in the futures game Emiliano Teodo and Winston Santos, two pitchers, $10,000 signees out of the Dominican Republic, both fared really, really well, and I think that's increased their value. I don't know that the Rangers are going to want to part with either one of those guys at this point in time, but I do think that there's always something of value, and if you're looking to acquire pieces at the deadline, it's never easy, but the easiest thing to acquire is an extra relief arm.
You mentioned Evan Carter. He was the hero of last year's late season and the playoffs. He got off to a dreadful start this year. And now we don't even hear his name. What's happening with Evan Carter?
Well, he's still in Arizona, and he's working back from his back issue. And listen, I don't blame the Rangers for being really patient and cautious with this. This is twice in 3 years that he has had a stress fracture or a stress reaction in his lower back, and that's concerning. The way Evan has explained it to me, doctors have assured him that he will grow past this, that let's remember, he's only 21 and some of that body is still maturing. And as his body gets a little bit sturdier, he's got such a long trunk that as his body gets a little bit sturdier, the indications are he'll grow past this back issue. But for the time being, I think it behooves the Rangers, and it certainly behooves Evan Carter to make sure that he is 100%, because the last thing they need to do is run into an issue with this player where you create an even longer-term medical issue.
Do you think the doctors could assure me that I'll grow out of my back issues at some point?
Norm, some things come with wisdom. Some things come with age. Wisdom is one of them, and I think we're both wise enough to know that when we get to our age, the back issues aren't going away.
Okay, let's talk sellers. The Rangers have a lot of attractive pitchers, especially that they could put on the market. Nathan Eovaldi, Andrew Heaney, who could be a multi-purpose arm on someone's staff, Kirby Yates, David Robertson. If they are to trade a pitcher, who's most likely to go in your estimation?
Well, I think if the Rangers were going to try and maximize value, you'd try and, if you were strictly looking at it from a business perspective and you're trying to maximize value, you would package Eovaldi and either Robertson or Yates. It's essentially, it's a little grade above, quite frankly, what St. Louis gave them last year in Jordan Montgomery and Chris Stratton for two really well thought of prospects, Thomas DeJase and TK Roby. If the Rangers could turn that into a similar package or a little bit more talent-wise, I think that would be somewhat attractive to them. But I also think, look, they've got Baltimore and the White Sox coming in here after the break. They've got at least another week before they have to decide. If they come out of this, have another week where they put together another winning record, they go 4-3 out of the break, or better yet, 5-2 on that homestand. I just don't think selling is going to be an option. You are the defending world champions. Nobody has gone back-to-back as world champions in 25 years. If you can find a way to get into this tournament, even if the odds are uphill right now, if you've got a chance, I think you want to try and capitalize on that. Because, Norm, if this team goes to consecutive playoff runs, if they somehow were to claw their way back and make it to another World Series, you are talking about now starting to elevate the Rangers franchise into a whole different aura. It will be upon ownership at that point in time to see if it's willing to continue to invest in that. But you are putting this club on a path to do, what a team like Atlanta did in the early 1990s, what San Francisco did in the 2010s, really elevate your franchise.
I know this seems like a weird question, but is it possible they're both buyers and sellers?
Listen, there are teams that try and do that every year. I don't think Chris Young is going to get too fancy or try and outsmart himself here. He has a good team. He has good makeup. One thing that I think has always hurt Seattle is Jerry DiPoto loves to make trades, and he loves to turn over that roster, and he does it year to year, and he does it in season. And I think that disrupts chemistry. And if this team has the kind of chemistry that Chris Young has always talked about, and that they certainly showed in the postseason last year and down the stretch, why would you disrupt that? Why would you have guys coming and going all at once?
The Rangers have gotten Max Scherzer back from the injured list, and even though the record doesn't show it, he's pitched very well. And now, on the horizon somewhere are Tyler Mahle and Jacob deGrom. What can the Ranger fans, the Ranger franchise, expect of those two?
Yeah, those are unpredictables, right? The first year back from elbow surgery is always the narrative is you don't know what to expect. And listen, DeGrom is such a freak of nature. I wouldn't put it past him for him to come back in the late part of August in a playoff run and do nothing but absolutely dominate. His stuff is magnificent. His mechanics are magnificent. It's just a question of whether or not he can stay healthy. Mahle, look, the Rangers signed him with the idea that he could be a contributor potentially in the second half this year, but really with a look towards 2025. So I don't know that as they sit right now that they need to count on those guys.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger issue that they have is when can they get Josh Young back for their lineup, and what can they count on from Josh, and how will that impact the lineup as the Rangers try to break out of their scoring funk?
And finally, Bruce Bochy came out of retirement to manage here. He immediately wins a World Series. This is the second year of his contract. Do you get any sense at all for Bochy's plans to stay or go at some point in the future?
Well, he's got another year left on this contract after this year, so we'll see what happens after that. He will be 70 next year. It would not surprise me if the whole idea here, especially with how this coaching staff was constructed, was that Bochy would come back at some point in time, win a World Series. They don't think anybody bet that it would be the first year back, and that he would ride off into the sunset, having won another World Series, and then go into the Hall of Fame potentially in 2026, the next time that situation arises for managers. At this point in time, I don't have a call. And, a lot of it is also dependent upon what happens with Chris Young. This is the GM that took the Rangers to the World Series last year. He's currently in the last year of his contract. He deserves an extension. He deserves a long-term extension.
Wait, let me interrupt you there. Why doesn't he already have one?
Well, that question has not been answered. Ray Davis has said that he intends for Chris Young to be here long-term. And yet here we are at the All-Star break with no contract resolution. I don't know if it's a case of Ray thinking that Chris is a Dallas guy, that he's always going to want to be a Dallas guy, and that it won't be a problem to get that contract done at whatever point. But I also know this: you let a young general manager who's won a World Series get to the free agent market, and the price at the very least is going to go up. If not, sending a message to the GM, I'm only giving you a raise because I have no other choice. I think that I feel like this has been something of a miscalculation on ownership's part. I understand that there are uncertainties about TV revenues and TV monies and all of this, but this is a man who is the director and the architect of your franchise. I think it's a bad precedent to set to let this drag as it has.
Evan, enjoy the All-Star game and enjoy the little bit of break after it. And we always appreciate you giving us your insight.
No problem, Norm. Take care.
Thanks, buddy.
So there you go. The great Norm Hitzges, formerly, of course, of Sports Radio 1310, the ticket here in Dallas. Before that, KLIF, by the way. Norm Hitzges had the very first all-sports talk show daytime morning in the country. Were you aware of that?
I believe I was aware of that.
Yeah, back on the old 570, or I guess it was 1190 back in the day, KLIF.
And now if you're looking for Norm, in case that was your first time seeing that Norm is back doing anything, he is here, right here with us on FanStream Sports. So if you've been looking for Norm doing Norm things, he usually puts out a nice little short podcast about every day.
Every morning, every weekday morning. We're going to start presenting those as a live broadcast every morning, 8 o'clock Central Time. And, of course, you can find it on your favorite podcast app, wherever you listen, or at fanstreamsports.com. We would love for you to go there to listen to all of your stuff. And, Colby, I want to get into a little bit of the Chris Young saga. We'll do that on Wednesday.
Okay.
Because we have something more important coming up right now, as it's time for America's favorite segment on the other side.
On the other side, we've got the good, bad, and ugly and mystery shotgun, followed closely by the general makes his appearance to talk soccer.
Colby, he's ready. He just texted me. He's ready to go. But I told him you got to wait till 8:25.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to. He can come on whenever he wants to. It's the general, damn it. But that's all coming up on the Colby 7 IndyCar Tim Show.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about turf life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your turf life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the temperature, ensure your home is totally secure, all from the palm of your hand. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Start by going to the website, GetStarPower.com. That's GetStarPower.com.
Hi, golfers. IndyCar Tim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new Fan Stream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more Fan Stream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim show right here on Fan Stream Sports. I'm IndyCar Tim. That is Colby Sapp. It's a big show here for us tonight with Norm and Evan on. I know it was recorded, but, Evan was supposed to come on with us live, Colby, and he had something come up at the last minute. So I said, we'll just play your interview with Norm that I recorded this morning. He was like, that's fine. So we will have Evan on. Here's the MLB and Rangers season goes on as we are having fun with the home run derby tonight.
Yeah, not as much fun as Adolis didn't hit as many as the two in front of him, as he went out with 18. And so Witt Jr. had 20, Baum had 21, and Hernandez has currently got 13. But he's not doing too well because he's already on his bonus pitches. So.
Okay, he's going to be out pretty soon. So let's hope our Rangers players show a little bit more tomorrow at the All-Star game out there at the Globe.
Actually, take the rest of the game off. That's fine with me. I don't really care. Just make sure you're ready to rip, roar, and get after it once it actually gets going again.
Yep, and as you heard Norm and Evan discussing, there's some curiosities here as we approach the trade deadline because the Rangers are kind of in a no man's land with regard to, are they going to be buyers or sellers? Because we talked a couple of weeks ago when there were 9 games under 500 and literally out of everything, that they would be sellers.
Right.
Well, they've had a kind of a streak, Colby, and they've won a couple of series and they've learned how to hit the fastball again and they're winning some games. So now it's like, maybe not.
No, I am all for the stay pat.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. Stay pat. If you want to go get, some relievers for next year and you've got some ammo to go do that, cool. But other than that, no. Just stay pat. Just keep with it. See what happens.
I agree, Colby. I concur with what you just said, and that doesn't happen very often on this show.
It does not.
Well, let's get into something that has some significance, if in fact there is anything, and it's time for this.
This time for the good, bad, and ugly, where I go through all the people that were born today, and I make a list of the people I think are famous enough to make my list, and I offer them up to you guys, along with me and Tim, for each of us to decide separately who is the good person, who is the bad person, and who's the ugly person. Starting off today's list, this stuff will make you a sexual Tyrannosaurus, just like me. 73 years old, it's Jesse Ventura.
He's still alive?
He is. Jesse the Body Ventura.
I was going to say, does he still go by the Body?
I don't believe so. I think he's just Jess.
Was he Governor the Body?
I don't believe so. I think it was Jesse the Governor.
Because Arnold was the Governor.
Right.
When he was out there in California. So Jesse, of course, the former governor of Minnesota. I said Pennsylvania. Minnesota. I don't know where that came from.
Correct. And again, that guy that you want on your side if you're facing predators.
Absolutely.
Marty Wright turned 60 years old. And the reason why I bring up Marty Wright, it's not somebody that Tim would know, but his persona in wrestling for a good bit was the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman, with all his red face paint, his 2 front teeth missing in the front, and dude would walk out and eat live earthworms.
That is not necessary to teach our children.
He was the Boogeyman, right? Like,
I never heard of him.
The moment he came out, I was like, I'm kind of scared of this dude.
So what years are we talking here? I mean, he's 60, so it was a while ago, right?
It was. He was your
90s?
90s wrestler.
Earthworms.
Yeah.
What are we teaching our kids, Colby?
I don't know. I guess, dirty jobs pay well.
I guess. Go eat worms on TV and you'll get famous.
John Dolmayan is 51. He's that drummer for System of a Down.
John Drummer.
Dolmayan.
Now, how can they have that name? How is that not insensitive?
System of the Down?
Syndrome of a Down.
No, it's System of the Down.
Okay, but that has connotations of mental illness.
It doesn't, actually.
That's the first thing I think of when I hear System of a Down.
Well, that's because you're broken.
System of a Down syndrome child.
Of the Down.
System of the Down syndrome child.
No, it's not anything to do with that.
Well, that's all I think of.
Well, you're broken. Like I said.
They're insensitive, whoever they are.
You're insensitive because that's where your brain went.
Immediately, that's where it goes.
Fred Savage's dad, Adam Savage, is 57. I don't think that's right.
What? No, Adam Savage is the guy from Mythbusters. The red-haired dude from Mythbusters.
The lady that won Best Supporting Actress from Inglourious Bastards, turning 48 years old today, Diane Kruger.
Remember her from that movie.
That's what she was in that I remembered.
That was a great movie, by the way. You know what? That was my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie until I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That became my favorite Tarantino movie.
I think mine will always be just because it was my first introduction, and it was probably be Pulp Fiction.
All right.
Just because I didn't know what that was until I walked in. I was like, because I mean, I saw the other ones. Why I Got to Be Mr. Pink. I saw that one. I thought it was great, but Pulp Fiction was like, what is this? What is going on?
Yeah, I didn't mind it when it came out. It wasn't like one of my favorites when I saw it initially, and it's just sort of worn on me. Like I don't really care for it now. I won't watch it if it comes on, but I get it. Like I get it.
Brian Austin Green is 51 years old.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Correct.
He dated some hot chicks too.
Everybody. He dated some everybody.
And he was like the nerd little kid on the show, right? Like he was younger than all the other ones.
He was.
He wasn't no Ian Ziering.
There was not many girls and at that time that had Ian Ziering's poster up.
Oh, I bet there was. The curly blonde hair looked just like me.
Mm-mm.
I can relate, Ian or Ian.
I'm Ian or Ian Armitage. 16,
Armitage.
16 years old.
Do you even know who that is?
He's the kid that does the prequels to that one show.
Right. That's the young Sheldon Cooper from Young Sheldon. What's funny, man, is he was like 8 when that show, or 7 when that show started. And I watched the first season of it, and I just kind of, whatever. But when the show finally ended, dude, he's like twice the size and his voice changed. And it's like, well, now he just doesn't look like Sheldon Cooper. I was very critical.
He grew up.
Well, what's funny is they did these, they're on TikTok and stuff together.
Right.
And, Ian Armitage will be holding the camera and he'll go, I heard this filter's supposed to tell you what you look like when you get older. He has his hand on it. He comes back and it's like Sheldon, whatever the actor's name. I can't remember what his name is, but it's pretty funny.
Damian Lillard turns 34 years old today.
Why is he on here?
Because he's famous and he's good.
He's good. He's okay.
No, he's really good.
Is he?
Yeah.
According to you?
Yeah. I'm the one that counts.
Sure about that?
Gabriel Iglesias turns 48 years old today. Fluffy.
I don't know who that is.
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. I gotcha. That's what you meant by fluffy.
Yes.
He's not fat. He's fluffy.
Right. And 63 years old today, it's one Forrest Whitaker. And there is your people that were born today that I think are famous enough to make my list.
Colby, we didn't have any Facebook birthdays.
Well, congratulations to us.
I don't think. Wait. Because I looked, but I forgot to look at over the weekend. If you would like your name to be read on our Good, Bad, and Ugly with these fine celebrities and a couple of spares that are listed as well, just friend me on Facebook. Or you could also send us a message on X. I'm at IndyCar Tim. He is at Colby Sapp.
That is all correct.
Colby, Stephanie Gailey. We'll go ahead and give her a shout out because she's 38. As I wait for my computer to update. Let's see. What is today? The 15th? Colby, let's go back to the weekend.
I didn't think you liked him.
Well, he can't spell and he can't sing, so I don't. Kim Gallagher, friend of the show, used to come out and hang out with us at what was that called? Tailgaters.
Yeah, when she's not squishing watermelons with a giant hammer.
Right. We had to wear the protection. I always wear protection with Kim. Cheryl Pumphrey, happy birthday. Laura Andrew, happy birthday. She's kind of cute. And then we've got some coming up. Let's see, we'll do tomorrow since we won't be on the air tomorrow. How about Tabitha Moore turns 47?
What's up, Tabby?
And one of my good friends, Rebecca, don't call me Rebecca, Simmerman.
What's up, Bex?
She's really young, too, like 25, and she has a kid. Oh, I didn't tell you. I pulled a prank on Lauren. Because Lauren, when we first split up, she was always like, you better not get some girl pregnant, blah, blah, blah. So when I met Rebecca, she just had a baby. I took a picture of me and the baby, sent it to Lauren. I was like, oops. I let her go for like a week, thinking that I had a newborn baby. I'm like, you're stupid. That's why we're divorced. And then my buddy from high school, Michael Henniger. Happy birthday to you, Mr. President. So there you go, Colby.
There you are, Tim. Political.
Speaking of assassination attempts.
Wow.
I mean, at one point, JFK finally got it through his head. We didn't want him here in Dallas.
My goodness. You know what? Wish I hadn't. Really wish I hadn't.
He started it.
Wish I hadn't done that. Tim, what's your picks for good, bad, and ugly, bud?
Colby, my good. Actually, I'm going to go backwards. My ugly. Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
Right? We just had that discussion about him last week for some reason.
Right.
Like somebody else had a weird eye, right? It was somebody else had a weird eye. We were like, which one has the weirdest eye? And I think Whitaker won. My bad. I'm going to go Damian Lillard. He's just an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
What team does he play for?
The Bucks.
And he's an idiot.
Okay.
He's not even the best player on his team. He's not even the third best player on his team.
No, he's the second best player on his team.
No, give me the Greek dude that I can't
Giannis.
What's his name? Yeah, Giannis. Chris, what's his face is better than Damian Lillard.
Yeah, you're just proving how stupid you are when it comes to NBA.
What's his name? He went to A&M too. I used to know this guy.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Chris Middlebrooks?
Your idea is wrong. Dame is better.
No, he's a moron. Wasn't he in he was in Portland, right?
Yes.
Okay, same guy I'm thinking of, so I'm right. Colby, my good. Man, the good sucked today. But I got to go Jesse Ventura.
Okay.
Because he was in Predator.
He was in Predator.
With all due respect to John Drummer.
My good is Forrest Whitaker. You know the movie's going to be pretty good, even if it's a bad movie, if they roll out Forrest Whitaker.
He played a pretty badass character in that Star Wars Rogue One, didn't he?
Sure did.
What was his name? Saul Guerrera?
Yes.
Saul Guerrera, whatever it is.
My bad is I'm going to go with Adam Savage just because.
What?
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Just try to teach you stuff. I don't need to learn.
Wasn't what they were doing.
And my ugly, I mean, he had 2 front teeth missing and he ate worms. It's Marty Wright, the boogeyman.
So I don't know what he really looked like in a real person. So
just go look the boogeyman up, sir.
Do not Google the boogeyman. You get all sorts of crap.
There you go. There is the good, bad, and ugly. If you differed with any of our things that we said, who was good, who was bad, who was ugly, and you didn't comment down below to tell us, well, then you might be listening to the podcast. And if you are, then go ahead and use that text line 214-937-0569 to tell us where you thought we was wrong at.
Colby Tracy chimes in. She says, I love Sheldon.
You know what? Good for you, Tracy.
Tracy can do whatever the hell she wants, Colby.
Good
she can
for
do no
you.
wrong.
Now it's
Love you, Tracy.
Now it's time for non-Sheldon talk as we throw it all the way over to, well, Tim, hit the music.
I got to do the thing first. Hang on, we're getting there, Colby.
Are we? Oh, yes. It's time for Colby Sapp's Mystery Shotgun. I'm your host, Colby Sapp, along with Pod Racer Tim. Real quickly, before we get into the, major news of note, is I've done a little spot checking as my buddy Corey Major sent me a text last week and said, hey, bud, do you know anything about the Dark Tower series? And I was like, yeah, it's not out yet. It's not even been greenlit yet by anybody.
Right.
But I do know that it's kind of in development. Not quite development hell, but it's currently in development.
So not like Limbo.
No, they're they're looking for one of the streaming channels to take it on.
Oh, okay.
That's
Need a distribution channel. We can do it on FanStream Sports.
Sure, probably could. Don't know if we could pay them what they're looking for.
Oh, they should pay us.
So no, that's not how it works.
Oh, damn it.
So for those that don't know, the horror extraordinaire, not the National Horror Day that we're trying to get started, but the horror extraordinaire that is Mr. Flanagan. He's taken on the idea of putting out this Dark Tower series. His idea behind it is he wants to go at least 5 seasons with this thing. Now there's like 12 books in this series. So there's a lot to draw from. And it's not just, it takes all those books for him to actually make it to the Dark Tower. Roland the Gunslinger with Jake and Eddie and Susanna. Not going to get into all of it. But are you, Tim, are you anywhere near a fan of, oh my God, The Plague, Stephen King? Why is my brain drawn a
Cujo?
No, not Cujo. It's literally about the plague. It's one of his better novels. Oh my God.
The Stand?
The Stand. Are you
No, I mean, I'm not familiar with it, huh?
Okay. Well, one of the major bad guys in that is a dude named Randall Flagg, who's also the man that's the bad guy in the Dark Tower.
Mhm.
He's the man in black. So there's enough there, if they can do it right, to really make a really good series. So they're trying to sell it. The update on this, kids, is that they first offered it a month or so ago to Amazon Prime. Because the movie did so poorly in the box office, Amazon Prime said, we're not touching it. So that's where we're at right now. They still got, of course, all the other streaming services to go to. You're really kind of hoping that he ends up going with something along the lines of Amazon Prime was the top because they have the most money to spend on effects and whatever.
Right.
You don't want to end up at like Paramount or something like that because they have the least amount to spend. You may want to go with
which is
Apple.
weird because CBS owns Paramount.
Right. You might want to go with Apple or Netflix and maybe Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your guys that you're kind of hoping for now with what this would offer. But those that don't know, this is Stephen King's like magnus opus. This is his epic. This is his big thing in his career that he's done is the Dark Tower. It's the one thing that he's never carried a series on this far. Like the fact that The Shining got a part 2 is weird.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
Even though the book's really good.
Yeah.
So this would be amazing to see for those that want to see something like this. That is what I've been able to dig up, is that he's right now going from streaming service to sell it. So this means that no actors or actresses are in place. He's just wanting to take this whole thing on. He's got an idea of what he wants to do. He's got it outlined. He knows how many seasons he wants to do. But as far as it actually making it to fruition, once I hear that he's signed with a streaming service, then we'll start to hear a lot more about it. But it is in the works for those that are fans of the Dark Tower. It is something that could possibly happen, and it is something that he's talking to a lot of outlets about. Like he's trying to drum up the business about it. Like short of doing a YouTube video, it's like what Ryan Reynolds did with trying to make Deadpool again.
Right.
It's just, let me just drum up enough talk about it. So he's trying to. So here's my way of helping that out by now drumming up and informing you that this is a thing that I would love to see because I believe he'll do it right. So there you are. In other news, real quick, for those that were eagle-eyed while watching the new Captain America trailer, there's something that's in the background of the trailer that if you missed it, you may want to go back and take a good look because a lot of folks on Reddit spotted it.
As they often do.
This is not confirmed, but I've watched it and I also think like them that this could be it. So if you remember at the end of the Eternals, that the big Eternal was turned to stone and left in the earth. And that was Tiamat. So Tiamat is just left in the earth. And everything we've had after that, nobody's ever said anything about the giant Eternal that's like in the earth. Like just hands and stuff just sticking out. Nobody said a damn thing about it. And it's like, are they just acting like the Eternals didn't happen? I mean, it was an all right movie. It didn't do great, but the story was good, and it's something they were trying to build on. Looks like, kids, that it's going to be in a way, shape, or form there. I mean, they've got an actual celestial god turned to stone on the side of the earth. Somebody going to mine this to go find something out? Because it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this could be a source that you could create anything out of that you wanted to. You could change how Animanium was made. It was dug out of this guy.
Right.
I mean, that's not how it was made in the comics, but you could do that because Animanium isn't a part of right now anything.
Right.
They haven't brought it out. So they've just vibraniumed everything. Well, you could do that with this. And you know what? I'd be all right with it. But the fact that it's there, actually not bad. I'm glad that they're going to start going back to some of these things that have left big question marks and said, by the way, we know there's a giant stone god in the side of the earth. Just instead of just being like, yeah, we got to do other things. Just the whole celestial being and all that basically the earth was almost destroyed, but the Eternals helped us out. Nobody's even mentioned them or nothing. It's like, wait.
Like
what?
at all, right? Nowhere.
Yeah, nothing. So hopefully this throws back to them and that we have them kind of added back in because you know what? They need to be back in some way, shape, or form. At least admit that they were there. So there you go. That was that there. And it's, man, I know it's short, but that is your mystery shotgun, everybody. So coming up next, it's time for us to go grab the horns that
let's not break yet because we're still kind of early.
It's 8:17, boss.
Well, I know, but our break's like 4 minutes, and he's not going to be on for like 4 minutes. So I just want to do a little quarterback talk with you first.
Okay.
I can do 3 minutes of quarterback talk.
I thought I was ending it properly on time, according to the run sheet.
Run sheet says 8:20. Right? Is yours different than mine?
Top of mine says 8:05 to 8:15, mystery shotgun.
No, it says 8:05-15 minutes. It's a 15-minute segment.
Huh.
Look what happens when you look at the run sheet for the first time.
I was just trying to be on time.
Well, now that we've wasted all that time, we probably could go ahead and break.
I was trying to help.
All right,
out.
Colby, you know what? Let's just go to break. You're right. Now I feel bad for saying anything. Produced it on the air.
So coming up next, it'll be time to talk to the general and make him feed us information as though we were babies because we don't know anything about soccer and he knows it all. Then after that, I've got news and notes. That's all coming up on the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the perfect temperature, and ensure your home is secure, all from the palm of your hand. Star Power has the experts that will transform your house into a secure, smart home. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Get started at GetStarPower.com. Star Power, where innovation meets home.
Hi, golfers. IndyCar Tim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Hello, folks. Let's talk a little bit about turf life. What is turf life? It's pretty much if your life involves turf in any way, shape, or form, you live the turf life. Go ahead and brand yourself with the turf life. Maybe a back window decal, maybe a hat. You know where you can get those kinds of things to showcase that your life revolves around sports and or anything that involves sports. If it's a sports business or sports education or just your enjoyment of the outdoors, head over to turflifeclub.com. Become a turf head. Join the club today. You can do that by going to that said website that I just told you to go to. You can snag your window decal like I was talking about, or any of your other turf life accessories. Show everybody that you live the turf life, and we'll see you there over there at that turflifeclub.com.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com. Hey listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCar Tim Show right here on FanStream Sports. It is a Monday, my dudes. Welcome into the show. Everybody watching on TikTok, on the YouTube, on the X, on the Insta. Hell, Colby, where the fuck do we go? Where is the show? I don't even know where our show goes.
It goes everywhere.
What the hell, dude? We're in the air and everywhere like the Bugaloos.
That's right.
Remember the Bugaloos?
The electric Bugaloos, too.
No, electric Bugaloos.
Oh, huh.
Well, Colby, we had the great Norm Hitzges and the great Evan Grant on earlier.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to transition to somebody of greater importance. I believe you called him, when you introed the show earlier, your greatest hero in broadcasting? Is that what you said?
No, I said the guy that I would most emulate if I wasn't already me.
And it would be Gavin the General Dawson from
right.
105.3 The Fan. Do you have us, General?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
We got you loud and clear. Welcome to the show. First time, long time.
Man, what is up with you guys, dude? It's an honor to be with you. I've watched you guys grow this show. I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. It's always good. Anytime Colby needs anything, I'm on it. You know, I have so much respect for both of you guys, though, and it's an honor to be on. Thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's high praise from the master himself over here.
Well, you'll have to tune into the opening of the show because that's where I kissed your ass all the time. So there you go.
I know how to do that.
I'll cut it up and I'll email it to you so you don't have to go find it.
Thank you, sir. I'll get him nominated for G-Bag of the Day.
Oh, there it is. Golly, what an honor that would be.
I mean, I've been there a few times.
You have?
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
I'm just riding the coattails of Colby. That's all I ever do.
Shots fired. Yes, dude.
So great. So Gavin, we wanted to have you on. We've been talking about it for a long time, to be quite honest, because occasionally the subject of soccer will come up on the show.
Okay.
Or as fans say, football, but it's hard for me to say. It's like peanut butter in my mouth. And Colby, Colby knows a lot more than I do. And I'll be
not a lot, by the way. It's not a lot, but I hold a little bit more respect for it than
I'm trying, dude.
Shut down Tim. You crapped on an entire bar because they were watching soccer. You literally almost got thrown out
twice.
Yes.
2 separate bars.
Yes.
All right, look, Gavin, I will give you a real quick rundown of my soccer history. Soccer is so when I worked at the Ticket on a motorsports show, by the way, I may have drunkenly referred to soccer that it's not a sport, it's an activity.
Okay.
And again, management didn't give a crap, but this was the year of the World Cup here in 94. And the Latino community that heard the show and listened to the station pretty much got me fired.
Right.
And rightfully so. I get
that.
But, yeah, we did our show on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 over there at the Little Ticket back in the day. And there was a lot of liquor consumed because there wasn't anybody else at the station.
Yes, that'll happen.
Yeah, so I
might
have had a few drinks, and anyway, that's my background, right? So that's how everyone knows me. But look, things we don't understand, we make fun of, right? That's
exactly. Yeah.
I'm like a 14-year-old girl because that's what I do.
Mark.
So I thought, you know what, Colby, let's get Gavin on because I don't know anybody that knows soccer more than you. And I wanted to offer you a platform because, dude, on his own fucking show, he only is allowed 60 seconds to talk about soccer.
60 seconds on soccer.
I'm like, you know what? Let's give him 20 minutes or however long he wants to go on with this thing. We were in the show at 9, by the way. So,
well, I could do more than 60 seconds on soccer, but 60 is how it started under the legendary program director Tom Bigby. who did not want me to talk about soccer on a day in 2010 when the U.S. had just had maybe their biggest win ever in a World Cup and definitely their most dramatic win ever. So we still do hold on to 60, but current program director Gavin Spittle is actually pro soccer. And I bet as the World Cup approaches, we'll actually maybe do a full 6 minutes. Maybe that's how we could grow it. But
Wow.
I mean, I'm surprised you got fired for that, Tim. Trolling soccer has been the go-to move for sports radio people. I think for 3+ decades.
Oh, for sure. But I might have been the original. I might have been what started that.
Yeah,
but,
no doubt.
But look, we just had the Copa América. Did I say that right?
You're close.
And the Euro.
Okay. Well, see, and look, this is what confused me because I guess we had two tournament things going on at the same time, and I thought they were all the same. I didn't know.
Yeah, they were going on at the same time on the same network.
See, exactly. That was confusing for me. It's like having the XFL, the USFL, the whatever, all at the same time, all on Fox or something. I have no idea what's going on. So last night, I walk into my favorite bar, Tailgaters in Frisco, expecting to watch the Major League Baseball draft. Because earlier in the day, I saw Spain beat England, right? Cool. Yeah. It's over. The whole thing's over. I don't have to go into a bar and watch soccer. But no, dude, I walk in and there's freaking Argentina jerseys everywhere. And of course, soccer's on, the sound is on. Anyway, I made friends with some very nice soccer fans who bought me a shit ton of shots.
Nice.
And that might have been when I texted you last night. I might have I told Colby, dude, I drunk texted Dawson. Told him to come on the show.
I couldn't detect it in the text.
God, thank you. Maybe those chicks didn't either. But look, I want to talk about that. And I'll tell you, I do have a direct message from the great Norm Hitzges for you. Because when I recorded his interview with Evan Grant this morning, I said, we're going to have Dawson on to talk soccer because they were talking a little bit of soccer before we recorded the interview. And he goes, okay, ask him this. If that fiasco at Hard Rock Stadium last night, the security breach, the people sneaking in, the injuries, blah, blah, blah. He goes, ask him if that's going to have any effect on any of the venues for the World Cup coming up in 2026. Is that going to have any bearing on them changing things?
Well, first of all, salute to the great Norm Hitzges. The airwaves will never be the same without him. I don't think I ever met a classier dude or a more passionate dude about sports. And it's an honor to have him even consider me in a sports conversation. Sure. To me, what happened last night is very unfortunate, but they're used to it around the globe a lot. That's kind of a thing that happens at most big sporting events that are going to be sold out, at least for soccer. Guys climbing, idiots, pushing people and endangering children, which was traumatic for me to witness myself. I can't imagine what some of those parents were going through as they're running around looking for their kids or trying to hoist their kids to safety. It's definitely not something that I just want to gloss over and say it's fine. It happens everywhere. But here's the thing to know. FIFA has a lot more resources and they have a lot more experience dealing with this kind of crowd control. I would think that maybe it's a blessing that you got that last night without more damage being done. It's a black eye on the sport, black eye for American soccer. But I think FIFA will be prepared for it. If the Copa América organizers thought, well, it's the U.S., their security will be there. The fans will be more respectful. It's on American soil, this, that, and the other thing. No, I think, to me, it was kind of like maybe America has arrived as a soccer venue just a little bit more last night. And I do think it will impact because you can't let that happen again. And you can't let that happen repeatedly here in the U.S. I think we're all, pretty used to a reasonable amount of safety when we get there. And I imagine a lot of those fans paid a lot of money for premium tickets, and were squeezed out by hooligans or thieves or whatever you want to call them.
Now, when you mentioned FIFA and you put in the glowing remark, they're used to this. They'll have a better shot at trying to fix this. I think that is the first time I've ever heard somebody talk about the organization FIFA and then go, this is what they do good, because everything that I've heard is like, well, FIFA screws things up. Am I just listening to the wrong and the bad part of the conversation, or is maybe I just hearing what I only want to hear? Is FIFA as an organization, I always hear of that they're just takers more than there are anything else, but they can handle these security situations.
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Colby, because I think in general, FIFA has a bad reputation around the globe, and for a lot of things they should. But that more comes into the area of bribes,
Okay.
misappropriating funds. That I would not trust them for. But, crowd control, making sure things are safe, massive events, that's, where they will shine because, that comes down to protecting sponsors, protecting the bag. Now you get a president in there that likes $500 million handshakes. Crazy stuff has happened to FIFA in terms of that kind of impropriety. But they've done a great job cleaning up the sport since decades ago, since the days of the Eastern European and English soccer hooligans. They've really tried to make a strong move to make it as family friendly as possible.
Now, me and Tim were kicking around the idea because he had heard, as he had talked to a couple of soccer fans, and about the American squad as they have not looked good. And to my untrained eye, it just looked like the flow was off and they weren't able to get anything going the way they needed to go. And the idea that they could, change coaches. And now I'm not ear to the ground news. I'm not sure if anything's happened in that front yet, but is that something that should happen? Or I've heard from some people that it's too late into the process to change coaches. What's the ideology behind that? Because we've got a good bit to go before we end up in where this team's headed next.
Well, that's a great question, Colby. Now he has been dismissed. Let me lead with that.
I did not know that.
All
Breaking news late last week, I believe. A lot going on in the news cycle, so no doubt it was an easy one to miss. But this has been a real mofo for soccer fans. I mean, Beerhalter's brother was essentially in charge of the U.S. Soccer Federation. That's how he got to the last World Cup. Like even before the World Cup 2 years ago, there were people like, how is Beerhalter still in charge? We need to end this. Then the massive disappointment in the World Cup. Then this, Copa América disappointment finally pushed it over the edge. But after World Cup, they kind of like dismissed him, did a search, and then still brought his ass back. And it's incredibly frustrating. Like coach manager is maybe more important in soccer than any other sport, because you're trying to, agree to a collective team strategy with individuals who are out there that you don't get to stop the play and call plays for. You got to build out everything, prepare, make chemistry, and then turn them loose and let them go for 90 minutes. And for a long time in American soccer, when I was growing up, and some of our best successes have been playing a defensive counterattack style. We're great athletes. We might not necessarily be the most skilled soccer players or have the best sophistication when it comes to our passing game, anticipation, soccer IQ. And that strategy allowed us to have a tremendous amount of international success, relative to what we are and who we are. Since Klinsmann took over, Jurgen Klinsmann, a great German player before Beerhalter, they have tried to make it beautiful like they play in Brazil or Spain or Argentina or the Netherlands. And it's just not who we are. We're not technical enough. We're not skilled enough to play that style. I appreciate them swinging for the fences, but in order to do something like that, you're talking about like soccer culture. You're talking about, changing the way that we engage with the sport from a very young age, and something that might take, decades to see through, if it's even possible. So I love that Beerhalter is gone, and it gives us a chance to get a more results-oriented coach as compared to like trying to become the next Spain. I just thought that was way too lofty.
So we need to junk it up, right?
Yes.
Is that what I'm
yes.
hearing?
Yeah.
I mean,
play
all for jumping
defense, run the
stuff up.
ball, hope for a big play over the top.
Would Mahomes help that team at all, you think?
I wouldn't be surprised, dude, seeing some of his recruiting stats on when he was recruited to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
Like this dude could be like starting in the All-Star game tomorrow night in Major League Baseball if he'd seen that throw. I wouldn't put anything past Patty.
Dawson, a couple of days a week, I do Tampa radio for 102.5 The Strike out in Tampa, St. Pete, and there's some rabid soccer fans out there. So that's where I kind of have, we take a lot of calls, especially with the Copa América thing going and the Euro, whatever it was that you mentioned. I kind of tune out when the callers call in. I let my partner take care of that, but
nice.
But they're
Tampa's a great soccer market. Tampa, Texas, California, Ohio, New Jersey.
No, and they're pretty passionate too about it over there. And
Yeah.
you know, all I hear is from the callers over there is that for some reason Americans just cannot compete on the pitch. And I don't,
for you. Good
right?
for
Did I get it
you.
right?
Good for you.
Sweet score. I might get laid tonight now. So, but is there a reason why? Is it because there's so many other sports here for kids to play? I mean, there's other sports in Brazil that they play, right? Like, I mean, it's not just, or is it just soccer all the time everywhere else in the world? But kids are distracted here in America, so that soccer's not really a focus. I mean, I had a ton of friends in high school that played soccer that went to play collegiately, but I don't because I don't understand. Like, I get that it's a great game and I understand it, but for some reason it just seems like it's not a priority in America like it is in other countries where they excel more, and therefore the Americans just can't compete.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot to be said about the passion level, and how all encompassing that experience is, for some players here even, and we're doing a great job now producing world-class level players. Christian Pulisic, though, check this out. His dad, Christian Pulisic's our best player. Okay. His dad played semi-pro and pro in Brazil. Growing up in New Jersey, one of our hotbeds, Christian Pulisic's dad had a lot of his buddies move up to America, right? They were working together doing separate projects. Christian Pulisic's childhood was hanging out in the backyard with his dad and a bunch of cool Brazilian soccer players, okay? And he was obsessed with it, taking the ball everywhere with it. Now you turn on a TV and you see him playing for AC Milan in Italy. Tens of thousands of Italians are chanting his name. They have a dozen songs that they've written about him and sing to him. So individually, we can do it. There's a number of players, who are around his level of expertise. Weston McKennie, a guy from right here in Dallas-Fort Worth, is another very high-level player. The problem is we don't have the entire country doing that, we don't have the great coaches like his dad was and his dad's buddies were to be that guiding hand. So if you look at the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic, you know how he sees the entire field or the entire court and is a danger to score, to shoot, to pass, to dribble, whatever the game might be asking him to do at that time. You have a bunch of other guys running around on the court who, are good at the game of basketball, but compared to a Luka or a Kobe, there's just like another level of awareness and skill level. And, I would say like Luka would represent Germany, Italy, whatever, if we were, comparing him to nations. And, we just, we're not there. We're like, a Spencer Dinwiddie or something. And I think it's going to take a number of years for that next generation growing up to become as passionate. When I was growing up, we didn't have any games on TV. Me and my brother had some VHS tapes of former World Cup games, and that's how we would watch soccer on TV. And then right around the 2000s, that changed. So there's no mistaking the fact that now you have kids that are 23, 24, 25 years old that got to grow up watching the game, seeing the passion of the game, falling in love with the game, are now arriving. But to my point about beer halter and the appropriate strategy, we need to learn how to bring all of that together. Right now, we, can do a lot of the skills, but it's how everything moves together and how to exploit and create space that's, separating us from maybe the top 15 teams in the world.
Some of my fondest memories, Gavin, and you may appreciate this, was from around 1990. When me and my roommate moved into an apartment together. We couldn't afford cable. We had rabbit ears. We got like 2 channels, and one of them was Spanish. It was like Telemundo or Univision, whatever it was, on channel 23. And all they showed was like soccer games in the evenings, right? And one player, of course, we couldn't understand the announcers or anything, but we'd sit there and drink beer and watch it because that's all we had. Yeah. And one of the players on the field was this skinny little white guy that was running around with a big red afro. And we didn't know what to call him, so we just called him Fro. Yeah. Hey, man, Fro's on. Go grab some beer. Let's sit down and watch Fro. Dude, it was Alexi Lawless.
Yeah, and he's turned into a better commentator than he was a player. But, yeah,
he's on Fox, right? He does the Fox studio show, right?
Yeah, and he was the starting center back for the the 1994 World Cup team that I think brought a lot of Americans into, watching soccer on TV for the first time.
Pretty funny, though. I love me some Alexi Lawless. I can name drop. See, Colby?
You sure did.
And tattoo?
You called it the pitch? Yeah, that's your go-to, though. That's your crutch soccer player. As soon as anything comes up soccer, he's like, yeah, tattoo.
The greatest indoor soccer player of all time, tattoo.
He's a hell of a coach, too. He is a great youth soccer coach now.
Love me some tattoo. Reunion Arena, 1987.
So with all that going on with the American team, is there any hope that we can have something? It's too early. It's not enough time, right, for them to put something together that we can actually cheer for coming up in the World Cup.
Well, I think in the context of trying to win a championship, a World Cup championship, that's too much. But I think the World Cup was 04, 06, somewhere in there. We beat Mexico in the round of 16. We had the equalizer against Italy that was called back in the quarterfinals, right?
Right.
So we were just a sea hair away from doing something special. Like even making the quarterfinals, I think would be massive success. This team is capable of that. You need the right manager. Back then, we played an ugly smash mouth form of soccer, but it worked for where we were. And I think if we go back to prioritizing that, 2 years is definitely enough time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we got a goal to shoot for now, Tim.
All right. I may go to some games then. And I was at the 94 Cotton Bowl for some games. I was covering it back then. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. Gavin Dawson, 105.3 The Fan, G-Bag Nation, weekdays 2 to 7 here over there with Broadus and Chiafolo and Wolchuk and Lucius and who am I missing? I think I got everybody, right?
I think you did get everybody.
But Gavin, you're also doing some crypto stuff. And Colby and I sometimes delve into crypto. Okay. And I'm like, you know what?
On the show?
What is a crypto? I don't even know what a crypto is.
I've tried explaining this to this is one of the beatdowns of my life. Well, explaining anything to Tim is pretty much a beatdown of my life. But trying to explain what crypto is, and this may be something that, of course, by the way, it's Dawson Crypto. He's got it in his
right, exactly,
tag,
exactly.
So,
oh yeah.
So if trying to explain that to Tim, this is going to take longer than I think what Gavin really wants to do.
No, I didn't want him to explain crypto. I just wanted him to plug his show.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's all I was going to ask. Is you got a great YouTube channel with the crypto. Tell the folks how to find it and what you do.
Yeah, I teamed up with this dude in Waco named Tex, and we come on most days at The Real Ada Boys on YouTube, at The Real Ada Boys on YouTube. There's a lot of different crypto ecosystems, different blockchains and stuff, Ethereum, Bitcoin, so on and so forth. And so we're over in our little niche, and we talk about the stories of the day that are happening there, and how to try to find that next Dogecoin.
Well, we'll make sure we blast that out and get you some followers.
I do have a small crypto question here, Gavin, just real quick, General. Is the Pi network, is that a scam where you like mine it on your phone? Because it keeps popping up a little bit in Coinbase, like it could pop up for real. And I'm just a question if you know anything about that.
I can tell you I've mined Pi on a couple of different occasions on my phone. And I did the verification to get it transferred to the main net and all that. But I'm not totally sure, it's really interesting business model they have there that's unique. So I've always kind of been into it thinking, well, it's only about 20 seconds per day and I'm doing this and I'm doing a couple of tasks. And if it pays off, maybe it'll really pay off. But I think that's how a lot of cryptocurrencies are. Right.
And I've actually got the same network that I've been doing for about 4 or 5 years on it. So yeah, no, I've just kept going with it, but I was like, you know what, you would know. So I'm right there with you. It's just, it takes me a little bit every day just to go, yeah, go ahead, do it.
I filled up a 50-cent paper roll of pennies the other day at my bathroom.
Is that
not what that is?
Something tells me that Tim enjoys trolling you on this one a little bit.
Yeah, a lot, actually, a lot.
It's all in good fun.
It's so difficult to not become over-explainer guy when you're talking crypto. I'm just like, man, let me try to keep my answers short before I see the eyes glaze over.
Right. No, and they immediately glaze over because he can't hold it in his little sausage hands.
It can't fit in my pocket. I don't know if it's even real, right? Well, Gavin, we appreciate you spending your valuable time. You got a great family over there. We hate to take you any time away from that for you. You're great at what you do. We're privileged to call you a buddy and call you a friend, and we'd love to have you back on the show anytime your schedule allows.
You guys are kicking ass and taking names, and you just say win.
Appreciate you, brother.
And I'll join you.
There he goes, Gavin Dawson, 105.3 The Fan, G-Bag Nation.
Salute. You see him, beer him, N.A.
Wow, Colby, we just had Dawson on.
We sure did. That dude's awesome.
I can just listen to him talk like all day as long as it's about something I like. I just don't get it sometimes, man.
Well, you don't get it a lot of times.
I don't. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm not. I wish you'd get some things every once in a while.
I try to understand. Look, I'm doing better with soccer. I might watch soccer. I might start watching soccer. Would that make you happy?
You know what? You trying? Yeah. That'd make
all right.
me happy.
What if I also listen to some of his shows on crypto?
You know what? Go ahead.
I'm not going to do that last, I don't know, minute and a half of you guys talking to each other just now. It's like I was listening to Swahili, a Swahili podcast or something. I had no idea what y'all are talking about.
Well, that's how it used to be when I do Mystery Shotgun too.
Right. And I picked some of that stuff up, right?
Sure have.
See, I'm an actual co-host now.
Damn right.
I mean, kind of. But anyway, you ready for this?
I am. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, me. Thank you, you, for making us sound good. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
And by God, I found it. Hey, everybody. There might be a sale.
Chris sale?
No. On cocaine. Colombia faces a new problem. They've got too much cocaine.
An overflow?
They have too much cocaine, man.
No, that was possible.
I guess it is. Colombia's problem. As Yahoo News reports that for decades, one industry has sustained the small, remote Colombian village of Cano Cabra. That's cocaine. Those who live in this community in the central part of the country rise early every morning to pick the cocoa leaf, scraping brittle branches sometimes until their hands bleed. Later, they mix the leaves with gasoline and other chemicals to make chalky white bricks of cocoa paste. Here's the problem. That the town of 200 people has shrunk to about 40. But the amount of cocoa leaves that are out there is a lot. So they've been having to run out there with a whole bunch of different folks. And they've now got too much cocaine. And overabundance. So next time you go see your dealer, don't get cocaine. But if you have to, tell him when's the discount hit. Right? Because if you got more product, then you've got people to buy it. Shouldn't the price go down?
Yes. Supply and demand, Colby. It's the basis of our economy.
Supply and demand. Can't believe there's a village that they just survive on, that they got to go every morning, wake up, just go make cocaine. Have some coffee. You don't need coffee, right?
I mean, I can't imagine.
Just spend the whole day without coffee because you're coked up.
Or do both. Hell.
I mean, put some in your coffee. Don't ever do that, kids. It's bad. Let's go from there to Ohio, where Ohio's best-known weatherman. Have you heard about this guy?
No. Is he the one that does it pantsless?
Steve Rayleigh. Steve Rayleigh. He was a WCPO forecaster. He's on the run.
Oh no. Because he got the weather wrong?
No, not because he left his job, deleted his social media account, and vanished from the screens after he was filmed in a road rage incident.
Oh.
He was with his two kids in his Cadillac Escalade, plowed into a Ford F-150 after failing to yield to oncoming traffic. Moments later, the Ford driver, Douglas Moreau, 79, was on the ground next to his wife, 76, who suffered a fractured skull, bleeding from the brain, and detached retina. The Cadillac is owned by Weatherman's father-in-law, former Hamilton County Sheriff Attorney Simon L. Lease Jr. Seems that the Weatherman was driving it, jumped out, started whipping old man ass.
Cocaine rage.
He's no longer the Weatherman.
Does he cover boxing now for the station?
He pulled the whole "I'm no longer here," deleted all social media accounts, and fled the city.
So is he being sought for charges?
Yeah, because he beat the crap out of an elderly person.
Where are his kids?
They're with him, I guess.
God, he's just hiding everybody.
Yeah, just gone.
Can never trust weather. Watch out for Pete Delkus, by the way.
No, never watch out for Pete Delkus.
Love me some Pete.
Never have to worry about Pete.
He's a former major league pitcher. Got to watch out for him.
I mean, just don't let him throw anything at you, I guess.
Right.
Let's go from there to, they haven't fixed that yet. We're still in Ohio. They haven't fixed that yet. And yeah, bud, there's a new technology out there where people are able to steal Kias.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Without breaking a window.
Because of the electronics, right?
So they can be nearby and have this electronic device, which is described in this article. And if you lock your door, they can pick up the signal and unlock your door and start your car.
Just a digital code.
Just a digital code. This has been out there for 4 years.
Go buy a Kia.
You know what? They haven't recalled anything or done anything about it.
You think you could do just like a over-the-air software upgrade, right? Or something? Where you didn't have to actually take it into the dealership or something.
Right. They haven't fixed it. So if your Kia accidentally just walks off, they've known this could happen. They're aware. They just haven't done anything about it.
Yeah, we know. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Click.
Come buy a new Kia.
Come trade it in for a newer one.
Yeah, we may have fixed it now.
Maybe.
We're not sure. Dipshits.
Oh, Kia. Silly Koreans.
So, yeah. By the way, they're not bad cars anymore.
I love Kias.
They used to be, but
I had one.
May want to watch out now since somebody can just walk up and go bloop, bloop, and they're in your car.
I had a 2012 Kia Optima. I loved that car.
Recording a new record for emergency services arriving at the crash. 2 fire tanker trucks heading to a large warehouse blaze crash end up colliding with each other. They broke the record, everybody. They were there before anybody else.
Huh.
They did injure 7 firefighters, but no one passed because of that. Man, poor warehouse. I bet it's done. I wonder which, because it doesn't say in the article, like, who made the mistake, which fire truck or
whose
whatever.
fault it was.
So you can't imagine it's both of them. It's got to be that one guy that's like, no, we're going to turn left here. It's like, no, it's a right. Fuck. Tries to flip a bitch with the other guy rolling up because they collided.
Wonder who claims it on their insurance.
Can you imagine calling that into Allstate? We have two fire trucks that were in an accident.
Cop rolls up. Hey, where's the fire?
It's down the street. We didn't make it. Oh, man. Looks like our water broke. What? I did find an article of a person that says one astrology skeptic's weeks parenting her child with guidance from the stars. If you're a skeptic of astrology, I'm not even going to read the article. If you're a skeptic, I don't think you should raise your stars by astrology.
That's what that means, right?
You raise your kids by astrology and you don't believe in it?
Then what's the point?
What are you doing? So this is a skeptic's guide to raising your kids through astrology. So if you don't believe in it, here, read this. Man, fuck off.
It's like me teaching my kids to watch soccer. I'm a soccer skeptic, Colby.
You don't believe in it?
I don't believe in soccer.
It's not real, bitches. It's not real.
It's like Bigfoot. No one's ever really seen it.
You hear the new thing that the scammers are doing now?
No.
Because it used to be they could like steal your identity.
Yeah. Nobody wants mine.
Now they steal your phone number too.
Really?
That's a new thing.
Oh, I would hate that.
So
I had the same number since 1998.
This is an article by Miss Hussein.
Saddam's wife?
No, I'm going to go no relation. One Monday morning, in May, they woke up and grabbed their cell phone to read the news and to scroll through memes, but it was out of cell service and they couldn't make calls or text. That turned out to be the least of their problems. They got a notification that $20,000 was being transferred from their credit card to an unfamiliar Discover bank account. They stole their identity and also stole their phone and made it to where they couldn't call and cancel anything.
So is it just the number they stole so they can't use their phone, or did they also steal all the data that was on the phone?
All the data that was on the phone.
Okay, so that's probably how they got banking info and stuff, right?
So all their stuff.
Damn.
So luckily this person was able to hook to their Wi-Fi to get on and start trying to shut things down. But can you imagine you find out that like you're in your car and that's when they get it and you have no way to shut it down? They can just take everything you fucking got. So another thing to be worried about, everybody. They'll just take all your shit. So all your shit that you got in your phone, man, watch out.
Wow.
Also, it may be a reason to stop answering any calls from anybody that you don't know.
Dude, if it's not a number in my phone, I don't answer it. Because, I mean, half the time I don't answer the other ones anyway.
Let's go from there to, where am I going?
I don't know.
I'll find a place.
Florida.
You know what? I've got a Florida. We can go to Florida. We're going to Winter Haven.
Ooh, I know where that is.
As their police are still searching for more victims, as Florida man was arrested for exposing himself to women in a Walmart parking lot. Normally that's something you find at, Family Dollar.
I mean, at least it wasn't in Walmart.
A man accused of exposing himself multiple times to women in the parking lot of the Winter Haven Walmart has been arrested. So far, only a couple of the women have come forward and said, yep, seen the wiener. There's more out there. They're searching for him. Do they have a picture of the guy?
Mark all of that.
They have a picture of the guy? It's like, hey, have you seen this wiener?
Mark that too. Shippy, mark it all.
I mean, because if somebody walks up to you and like flashes you, they're not going to remember his face, right?
Man, I hope not.
They're gonna. So if they're looking for, are you just walking up and saying, "Hey, has anybody shown you exposed themselves to you lately?"
Have you seen my wiener?
I don't think so. Do you then show them a picture? It's like, are you sure? I mean, still, Florida man.
Oh my gosh.
Wiener. Have you seen the new, like, by the way, the fad that's going all over the place that people are doing is dudes are walking up to random chicks and nutting on them? That's a thing. I've seen multiple.
You can do that on command?
I don't know. There's one video of this chick that's like at a store and this dude, she's like got on shorts or whatever. And you don't see, but you see her look at her leg and he just got through like introducing her to Pearl Jam.
Like, how do you time it right?
I don't know.
I can't do that.
And there's a video out there of this chick getting it like in her hair, like she's doing like online, whatever she's doing, some kind of Twitch or whatever.
Huh.
And I just there's so many questions to that. Sorry that went to this, but I ran across a couple people talking about it in the news stories I was looking at. This is a new thing. And what are you? I mean, are you over there preparing? What are you doing as the guy?
Yeah, how do you?
Are you timing this out?
That's like talent, right?
And then what is the girl doing while this is all going on? Because aren't they close?
In the bushes.
Don't you not notice that somebody's over there playing pocket pool vigorously?
I mean, if I was interrupted in that at a certain point of doing that I had to wait and do it at a certain time, the launch sequence would go away.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, so I mean, this is some kind of special talent. Or are they just like, there it is, and go? I mean, are they able to command it?
That's a talent, right?
Man, it's so much thought that goes into something so stupid. Because what I do need to know, what do they expect once it happens? Is the girl going to be like, oh yeah, I'm into that? Right?
Huh. Like, what if she did? What if she was like,
then you probably
do it again. You marry her.
Yeah. Well, if you're that guy that thought that might work and it actually does work, I don't understand what the idea, because it's like, yep, I did it. Now I guess I need to run.
And do you not clean it up?
Not if they're like running after you, telling you, I hope you die and stuff like that. Can't believe you just did that. It's superior marking your territory. I don't know what. Anyway, the world's strange. By the way, there was some humor, and it's a horrible segue. There was some humor thrown at things that happened past couple days with Trump, but the thing that's not humorous is the gentleman that lost his life, and then also the people that were there came through it, but were also shot. None of that. No.
Y'all stop making fun of stuff like that.
That was not humorous.
No.
So I thought about that then when Tim ran through his line of jokes, and I didn't remember it till now. But I think more than anything, with all this other going on, just remember that one guy just showed up because he believed and wanted to be at this rally. And there was no reason for that guy to lose his life.
Or anyone.
Yeah.
Ever.
The guy that took the shots, there was a reason for that guy.
Absolutely. Wish we'd have gotten him sooner.
So there's other things to be talked about that. And maybe we actually do, because it's real controversial, but this is a podcast. So we'll kick around the idea. If y'all want to hear us talk about our thoughts on that whole thing, we might just do that. And if we get enough people going, please do.
We will.
Then we will. Maybe Wednesday.
Because we can.
That's right.
We can do political talk on you.
Yeah, we sure can. And that is News and Notes, everybody.
Thank you, Colby. This has been the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show. We want to give a special thanks to Gavin the General Dawson from 105.3 The Fan, G-Bag Nation.
Damn right.
And the Crypto Show. Go check out his YouTube channel. I'll make sure I get that posted on the show description for everybody to go find if you are indeed into that crypto. But especially we want to thank him for enlightening us on some soccer stuff and the situation with the U.S. men's national team right now as they head off to the World Cup in 2 years.
Right.
But apparently it's soon.
May not have enough time, Tim.
Yeah, there's not enough time, Colby. And also, of course, the great Norm Hitzges and Evan Grant from the Dallas Morning News talking Texas Rangers. Colby and I are going to get into some Chris Young and Texas Rangers potential trade talk on Wednesday, which reminds me to remind you people, we will be back on Wednesday with another Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show. You can catch us at fanstreamsports.com, 7 o'clock Central, or you can catch us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and on the X. Be there or be square. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.